Hello, everybody, and welcome back to This Love Thing. It is our monthly contribution to relationships. We normally do this on first Monday evenings, but last Monday was my birthday, y'all. And
Yes.
I had to leave some space for Lady Tisha to do her thing, and she did.
Amen.
She did, y'all. She did.
Celebrating my boo.
And so we had a lovely evening, and I want to tell everybody who reached out to wish me a happy birthday. I still got to go back on social media and say thank you to everybody. And so until I get a chance to go do that, I'm saying thank you to everybody who reached out and wished me a happy birthday. I certainly appreciate it. But we did push this episode to this Monday. We normally do it on the first Monday, but because that first Monday did fall on my birthday, here we are on the second Monday of December doing our monthly episode of This Love Thing. And it is a tremendous thing. We have a topic today that we hope you will enjoy. We're dealing with tonight of love languages and boundaries. They go hand in hand. Yes, love languages and boundaries. And if you don't yet know what that means, just hang around for the next hour or so, and we're going to do our best to let you know what it is. In the meantime, we want to say thank you for every one of you who has joined us in the live audience. For those of you who are catching it in the playback, that's all right. We appreciate you too. We're broadcasting live right now on this Monday, the 8th of December at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live right now on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. So wherever you are enjoying this episode, this broadcast, whether in the playback or in the live audience, we're going to ask that you share it with someone. Send them the link. If you're on Facebook, of course, you can tag someone, or you can just share this on your own platform. Lady Tisha has those thumbs busy right now. She's normally doing this in the background, but right now she's doing it right here on camera, live and in living color. And I appreciate it. Spread the word. Let someone know that Transition Place is on. Pastor Carl and Lady Tisha, we're right here. As we tell you all the time, we're not clinicians, but we are saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit. And we have a lifetime of experiences. And we don't mind sharing our experiences through a life lived and through a course of study. Lord knows we have studied the Word of God. We have read many books. We've been involved in seminars and all that kind of good stuff. We've been around some very good people who have poured into us. We have been mentored. And so those are our credentials when it comes to speaking about relationships. And we're just hoping that what we have experienced, what has been poured into us, we hope and pray that it is helpful to you. And so tonight, as we're wrapping up 2025's pouring out of this love thing, no matter where you are on the love spectrum, whether you're in a relationship, out of one, trying to get into one, trying to get out of one, trying to get some understanding. That's a big thing. Trying to get understanding, no matter where you are on the love spectrum. The scripture tells us, and all that getting, get an understanding. And we're going to do our best to help you get an understanding. All right. Once again, we're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So no matter where you are catching us, we're hoping that you're going to tell someone so that maybe they can share with us too. We see that we have some folks with us already on Facebook. And so hopefully you'll tell somebody that you're catching Transition Place live for this month's episode of This Love Thing. We're going to deal with love languages and boundaries. They go hand in hand. All right. So make sure you tell somebody about Transition Place and this love thing. I'm going to start talking today, and we're going to deal with some information that we get from a book. This book was written by Mr. Gary Chapman, and the book is called The Five Love Languages. And in this book called The Five Love Languages, he identified these 5 ways that we express our love to each other. Now, I want to pause for station identification. In no way am I saying these are the only 5 languages that we express our love. I'm saying that in this particular book that Mr. Chapman wrote, he used these 5 love languages, and they're good, right? To me, it's a basic path for us to follow. Of course, you in your specific relationship, I'm sure you've probably developed your own love languages, and that's great. Tisha and I have some love languages that maybe you and your spouse or you and your partner maybe you don't use, and that's all right. You got to use what works for you.
And then you're allowed to have more than one love language.
Oh yes, her and I have several, and some of your love languages are going to be unspoken. All right, but for the purpose of this particular broadcast, we're going to deal with those that that Mr. Gary Chapman shared with us, and I want you to feel very comfortable. Those of you who are with us, whether in a live or in the playback, feel very comfortable to ask questions and make comments in the chat. All right, an interactive audience is a good audience. Now, and we're going to tie in how the love language and the boundaries work together. So I want y'all to stick with us. All right. Now, in his book, The 5 Love Languages, he gave us these, and you guys feel free to write this down in the chat if you like. First off, he said words of affirmation. That's one of the love languages, which is verbal expressions of affection, appreciation, and encouragement. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
First love language, words of affirmation, verbal expressions of affection, appreciation, and encouragement. So when I whisper in Tisha's ear and call her my brown beauty, see how I did that? When I said brown, her hair moved. See how she giggled? See that?
Oh boy.
She felt that down in her shana na 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 na. See that? She can't help, she blushing. She know I meant that down in my soul. See that?
Help Jesus.
Words of affirmation. She know I mean it when I call her my brown beauty. Tisha really is my brown beauty. So when y'all heard her call, when you hear me out in public and I say BB, that's short for brown beauty. That's one of my love languages to her, one of my words of affirmation, right? Verbal expressions of affection, appreciation, and encouragement. And every now and then, I look at her and just say, thank you. I know that I can be a bit much at times.
We both can be a bit much.
Yeah, one of my nicknames for her is Team Too Much. Now, that's for me, not for you. All right? She my Team Too Much, not yours. All right? You call her Tisha. I can call her what I want to. All right?
Or Mrs. Armstrong.
That's right. That's right. So once again, words of affirmation. That's one of the love languages. A verbal expression of affection, appreciation, and encouragement. Here's another one. Number 2, he listed acts of service. Actions taken to help or support a partner, demonstrating care through helpfulness. You'll hear that? Acts of service. Actions taken to help or support a partner, demonstrating care through helpfulness. We have a thing. Tisha is really not allowed to bring bags into the house unless I'm not here or unless she sneaks one in and I'm unaware. I do not like for her to bring things in the house. And that's because of the way that I was raised. My dad had a thing and he wasn't playing with it. He told my brother and I, when my mother pulled up in the driveway and she had been shopping, if we did not beat her to the door or meet her at the door, there were going to be some consequences. Let me tell you again, he wasn't playing. Okay? There ain't nowhere in the world she done worked and made the money and made the groceries, and then she got to get them in the house and put them up too, and then you wanted to cook a meal? Somebody crazy, and it ain't me and it ain't her. So, and I taught my son the same thing. Don't let your mama pull up to the house and you don't meet or beat her to the door. Oh no. So Tisha knows that, and every now and then I gotta look at her like she crazy. Like, what are you doing? Go in the house. We got this, or I got this. And she looking at me crazy. If I'm looking at her like she crazy. But that's one of my acts of service. That's just one example. When I see that she needs help with something, I don't wait until she asks me to do something. I just do it. I know that she can do it. Tisha is perfectly capable of taking bags into the house. She's physically strong. She's very strong. But I believe in being a gentleman. Tisha can open her own door, but I'm a gentleman and she's a lady. Mm-hmm. So I open her door. I help her into the vehicle. I help her out of the vehicle. If it's raining, she don't have to get an umbrella. I get the umbrella. I escort her to the vehicle. I escort her out of the vehicle. If there's only one coat, Tisha's going to get it. There'll be no discussion. There's no complaint. I'll just be cold or I'll just be wet. That's just it. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you have to do. That's what you should do. But that's one of my love languages to her. And she knows that. She'll never have to ask for these things. And I'm not saying that you are right or wrong for how you deal with your wife. That's just my love language to her as far as an act of service. Once again, first one was words of affirmation. Second one was acts of service, actions taken to help or support a partner or demonstrate care through helpfulness. Now, I'm going to pause for a minute because in these first two, you got my side of it, maybe a male perspective. I'm going to pause because I'm going to let Tisha speak to maybe her side of it, a woman's perspective of words of affirmation and acts of service.
Okay, so for me, for acts of service, just like he did indicate that yes, he does. I will say, let me just go ahead and state this for station identification. I am a well taken care of woman. He opens my door. I had someone to give him a compliment the other day while at work, where she had indicated that, wow, I don't know what you did or you trained your husband really well. And I said, well, this is how he came. I didn't have to do anything. My husband, he treats me very well. He opens the door. When we leave the house, when I get to work, he opens the door. I get a kiss if I ask for breakfast, or if he'll say, do you want breakfast? All of these types of things. If I want lunch, these are types of things that he will do for me. And I think in return, because that is something that he does for me, I think it's only right that when he opens the door for me, when we enter a restaurant, or when he opens the door for me to get in, I always make sure that I say thank you, because at the end of the day, this is something that he chooses to do. It's not something that he has to do. So I always make sure that I show gratitude and appreciation, because I make a point in saying you should never go from gratefulness to expectancy, because you shouldn't, your significant other, your spouse, your mate, they should never feel like you take them for granted. You should always take the time to show them appreciation for what it is that they do for you and that you do for them. Always show appreciation, because, sometimes life, and, it can beat you down, especially for men, especially for a Black man. You want your man to know that here in this home, you're going to be loved, appreciated, respected. And here in this home, you don't have to worry about all of those things that you have to worry about in the world, that you're going to be protected here. Another thing that I do for him is that if he says, because he has served in the military and is a veteran, if he say that his feet hurt, I'm gonna get some hot soapy water. I'm gonna rub those feet. And after I rub his feet, lotion his legs, massage his legs, I'm gonna rub them down. This is a thing that I do to show my gratitude and appreciation, because part of his job that he can walk well over 10,000 steps in a day. So if he say, baby, my feet or my back hurt, I don't mind rubbing him down to make sure that he is taken care of, because he takes care of me. I'm going to make sure that he is taken care of. You're supposed to take care of each other. Those vows said in sickness and health. What else is sickness and health, rich and poor, everything. You supposed to take care. I'm his rib. We're gonna make sure that we're taken care of. That's, for example, when he was sick, and we had to make an adjustment. Just the things that he would normally do, I did those things, and I did those things. I did not complain about those things, but I wanted to show him that, okay, we're adjusting, and I'm going to do these things. I'm not going to complain about it, but we're stepping up. The family as a whole, we're going to all step up to make sure that things are taken care of. You don't worry about it. You just take care of yourself, and we're going to help you inside here, this home, make sure that you're taken care of in whatever way that we need to make sure that you're taken care of. I think so many times, sometimes we forget that a man has feelings, because maybe a man doesn't show his feelings. So, just to make sure that he knows that he's loved and appreciated, and those types of things.
So there it is. Words of affirmation, acts of service. Those were the first two love languages that Mr. Chapman talked about in that book, The 5 Love Languages. Here we go with love language number 3, receiving gifts, the act of giving thoughtful gifts as a symbol of love and appreciation. Now, for me, it's from my perspective, I don't think I'm the best gift giver. I got to work for, now this is my perspective. Okay. I have to really work hard at that. That doesn't come very easy for me. When I give a gift, I like for a gift to mean something. I'm not the kind of person that just, let me just go. No. If I'm going to give a gift, I like to take my time to pick something that I think will be practical, useful, and meaningful. So when I give it, I don't want it to be cookie cutter either. I want for it to mean something. So I don't think that's one of my best traits, but I will say that I do my best. So I don't think it's one of my better love languages. Tisha always tells me she thinks differently, but that's my own self-evaluation. Once again, receiving gifts, love language number 3, according to Mr. Chapman and his book, The 5 Love Languages, the act of giving thoughtful gifts as a symbol of love and appreciation. The gift is a symbol of the love and appreciation. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, like he said, I don't agree with his self-assessment, because I think he does a phenomenal job. I think he may have been told or assumed that he was a horrible gift giver. And again, it's when you put the thought into it, when you're giving the gift to your person, you think of what it's going to mean to them. Like, for example, because I know he does a lot of walking on his feet, I buy his sneakers to make sure, or his shoes to make sure that his shoes are on point, because I know he does a lot of walking. So I buy his shoes to make sure that his feet are, 2 gold stars. I don't want his feet to hurt. And if his feet are hurting, we make adjustments, or I make adjustments to make sure that anything pertaining to his feet, because your feet are your foundation. So I just make sure that he's well taken care of, just like he makes sure that I'm taken care of. I'm going to make sure that he's taken care of. So.
And I appreciate that. Awesome. All right. Number 4, love language number 4, according to this book, The 5 Love Languages, quality time. Spending meaningful time together, focusing on each other without distractions. Now, I want to notice something here. It doesn't say quantity time. It says quality time, because I will warn you, as you begin to mature and get busy in life, You may not always have a big quantity, but it's the quality of time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good at scheduling some time with just you and your person? Are you good at minimizing distractions? Hey, baby, we're going to get away for a weekend. It's going to be me and you. I'm not going to allow certain distractions. It's certain phone calls I'm just not going to take. You know what I mean? That means a lot. And let me tell you, to some people, that's really not a big thing. But to others, let me tell you something. That love language is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be a deal breaker. I have seen that right there. And we have to listen. Understanding and what your partner's love language is, it may mean everything to them. So really take some time to listen to your partner, find out what their love language is, and spend some time learning how to speak that language. Spend some time learning how to work with them in that language. And once again, we get into these boundaries right after we finish this thing here with these love languages. Well, once we finish the introduction of the love languages, you're going to see how they work hand in hand. It can really enhance your relationship. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that quality time?
Oh, yes. I chuckle because both of us, we do, in my opinion, I think we do a great job of spending quality time together. Of course, being in ministry, it can pull you in different directions. You have to know how to allot your time, because being in ministry, you get the phone calls. It's certain things that you're required to do. You meet the needs of the people, and that's what you're called to do. So you have to understand where the need is. You meet the need of the people. Sometimes as the spouse, you have to put yourself on the back burner because there's somebody in the hospital that you have to see. You have to, when your husband is in ministry, it's not just your husband, it's both of you in ministry. And you have to make sure that you have a spouse that understands that wherever it is that he go, you need to go. To go together. What it is that you do. Say, for example, if you're doing a workshop, try to do the workshop together. It shouldn't be just your husband doing things where it's one-sided, because sometimes when you do things where it's just your husband, say, for example, if your husband is a pastor, where if he's just doing the things and you don't go, sometimes that can put a disconnect in the relationship, because in a relationship, sometimes, you can grow at different paces. Sometimes, the wife can be ahead and then the husband is behind. But if the husband is constantly going to things and you're not there, it can put a disconnect. And the next thing you know, you're looking and it's just like, I don't know you, you don't know me. So you have to make sure that you're doing things where you're growing together. So he and I, we make sure that we constantly put in an effort to do things together. We make sure that we put in effort to disconnect and do things by ourselves. My joke is, if he goes to get some gas, hey, wait a minute, you're not leaving the baby? I'm the baby. You're not leaving me. That's right. Wherever you go, I'm going. Because he's that important to me that I want to spend every bit of time that I can with him. No day is promised. So you have to put forth the effort to spend that quality time. It's conversations. It's not just the bedroom pillow talk per se, but it's having conversations. Sometimes life gets busy and you have to make time to, how's your day? Just having simple conversations to make sure and check in that your significant other is okay. We've encountered a lot this year, so I have to constantly check in to check his temperature to make sure that he's okay, and he does the same for me.
That's right. I love this comment that Elder Chris Tucker made, and I'm going to put it here on the screen. He said, yes, love language is not how we show love, but how our significant other fills my love cup. If I receive love through acts of service, words of affirmation won't fill my cup. It takes serious effort to learn how to show love in a way that can fill each other's cup.
Oh, yes.
Let me give some explanation in case somebody didn't get that. If my love language is words of affirmation, it doesn't matter how good of a gift giver Tisha is. She can give me the best of gifts. She give me the best back rub in the world. But if words of affirmation is my love language, for her to fill my cup, she's got to speak my language. If her love language is quality time, I can give her diamond rings, pearl necklaces. I can open and shut doors all day long. She wants my time. My time to her would be more valuable than any gift that I can give her. We're already flowing into the boundaries of Mateza because all this takes consideration. You have to learn your spouse's, your partner's love language. And as you're learning their love language, you have to teach them yours. And let me tell you something. Your love languages, because you may have more than one, they can change over time. We change and grow over time. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I may have needed this. But now I'm in a stage of life where I need this. Let me tell you something. What you do at 25 and exactly the same what you do at 55.
And that's why it's important for you to have check-ins, because when you change, it needs to be communicated if you're having those check-ins, and don't wait for there to be a blow-up. It shouldn't take for it to be a blow-up. You can just have a conversation, you know, a simple conversation while driving to the store to go get gas.
That's right.
Don't leave the baby.
That's right. According to the book, The 5 Love Languages, love language number 5, physical touch. Now, I will tell you, it's my favorite. I'm just saying, this me. It's my favorite. Expressing love through physical contact, such as hugs, kisses, and other forms of affection. Now, we're not going, we ain't got to get into all that. But I'm just saying, I'm going to say it again, physical touch. Expressing love through physical contact, such as hugs, kisses, and other forms of affection. Now, let me help some of our young couples out. I remember being a young man, and I thought that my wife and I were alone. And I said out loud what I was going to do to her all night. I made a declaration. And it was an old man that heard me. He said, "You was a lie. Only thing you're going to do all night is sleep." Well, one of us was telling the truth, and one of us was telling the tale. You know who was telling the truth? The old man. But when you're young, you don't see it that way. And what I had to learn is affection is not just intercourse. Listen to me, young people. Physical affection, man, could be the lightest kiss. It could be this hug like I'm doing with Tisha right now. There's so many times during the day where I brush up against her and whisper something nice to her. It's not always something sensual, something nice. Sometimes I'm just telling her how much I love her and I appreciate her. Sometimes I appreciate her beauty without makeup, because Tisha, to me, wakes up beautiful. Even when her breath's still hot. She beautiful to me. She just got hot breath. You know what I mean? But she beautiful to me. Huh?
Bless your heart.
Bless her heart, baby. Are you getting what I'm saying? So don't ever lose that part. That physical touch is very important. Don't ever lose that. A hug, a kiss, a caress, a touch. When Tisha is driving, and most times if she's driving, I'm gonna lay my seat back. But I have to touch her. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I feel better when I'm touching Tisha. I always like to have some part of me touching some part of her. It makes me feel better. And you can say what you want to say. It makes me feel better. She knows that. I don't try to hide that. You can call me hen peck. You can call, I don't care about none of that. That's my woman. I love her. I don't want to be without her. Physical touch is very important to me. Now, we have given you these 5 love languages according to Gary Chapman's book called The 5 Love Languages. And I'm going to go over them again very briefly. Number 1, words of affirmation, verbal expressions of affection, appreciation, and encouragement. Acts of service, actions taken to help or support a partner demonstrating care through helpfulness. Receiving gifts, the act of giving thoughtful gifts as a symbol of love and appreciation. Quality time, spending meaningful time together, focusing on each other without distractions. Physical touch, expressing love through physical contact, such as hugs, kisses, and other forms of affection. Now, I want you to listen to what this says here. Understanding these love languages is crucial for fostering healthy relationships. Research indicates that relationship satisfaction is significantly linked to whether partners express love in ways that resonate with each other's preferred love languages. A study published in PLOS ONE found that couples who effectively communicate in their partner's love language report higher levels of relationship and sexual satisfaction. That's important now. This highlights the importance of good communication and understanding in relationship, as partners often have different needs and preferences. You got that? Now, that's the love language part. All right? Now, check this out. Boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. They define the limits of acceptable behavior and help individuals communicate their needs and expectations. Establishing boundaries involve the following things. I'm going to read that again. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships. They define the limits of acceptable behavior and help individuals communicate their needs and expectations. What's acceptable in your relationship may not be acceptable in mine. What your needs and expectations are may be different than mine. Your partner cannot and should not be required to read your mind. You have a responsibility to communicate what your needs and expectations are, and it should not be in the 5th year of your relationship when you finally get around to communicating your needs and expectations after you have already expressed how disappointed you are. Ding, 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 ding. I hope I'm talking somebody's language. I hope I'm in somebody's business. For the very beginning, you need to be setting some type of boundaries. You need to be communicating some type of, hey, this is what I call acceptable behavior for me. Towards the very beginning, I need to be communicating, hey, these are my needs and expectations. Okay? Now, as good as you get at communicating what your needs and expectations are, you ought to also be good at listening to what the needs and expectations are of the person that you're dealing with. That's called consideration. That's called a two-way relationship. It can't all be your way and that's it. It can't be that way. That's not a relationship. That's called domination. Okay? Okay? My brother Chris, he loved that C called communication. Okay, now check out how we establish these boundaries. Okay, this is important. And we're going to link in how boundaries and the love languages link in together. Creating boundaries. This is identifying personal limits regarding emotional, physical, and psychological aspects of the relationship. Let's create a boundary. We got to identify personal limits regarding emotional, physical, and the psychological aspects of our relationship. Hey, what are my limits as far as how you deal with me on an emotional level, how you deal with me on a physical level, how you deal with me on a psychological level? One of my physical boundaries may be, hey, listen, I don't want any sexual contact until we get married. Tisha and I have a physical boundary. Hey, we don't hit each other.
Lord, no.
We don't even play like we're gonna hit each other. Okay, we don't do that. Both of us have been through some stuff that's not gonna work very well for us.
That go downhill real quick.
So we don't do that. That's one of our physical boundaries, right? When it comes to emotional and psychological aspects of our relationship, we don't call each other out of our name unless there's a sweet nothing.
Honey baby sugar.
Honey baby sugar works real good. But anything that's outside,
disparaging,
we don't do that. Once again, we've been through too much previously that would end very negatively for us. We don't do that. We don't tell lies to each other. We don't exclude truth that can lead to believing something that's not the truth. These are boundaries that we have, and we created this from the very beginning. Even though Tisha and I knew each other from years before, we reestablished this when we came back together in 2013. We started from the first conversation. I remember one thing Tisha said to me. She said, one thing I want you to know, I'm good and grown, and I don't do nothing I don't want to do. Ain't nobody gonna make me do nothing. I was thinking to myself, what in the world? Okay, baby, okay. And I knew that my hands were clean, but that told me she has experienced something, and she making it very clear. I don't know what you've been doing these last 18, 19 years, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm not gonna do.
Woo, Jesus.
You ain't gonna talk me into doing nothing that I don't want to do. That was a very clear boundary. Don't be trying to talk her in it. If her no is her no and her yes is her yes. That's what she was trying to communicate. And let me tell you, I got it. And I think that she can tell you, if I ask her something and she give an answer.
Now, one thing that I will say, we do ask each other clarifying questions, but we don't try to push each other on what the boundaries are. We'll ask them questions for understanding, but we don't try to push that because we're like, all we do is look, because we respect each other enough to say, okay, your boundary is your boundary. And we don't push that because we're nice people, but then when we're not nice, it's not nice.
Amen. Amen. And so create those boundaries and create them early in your relationship. Communicate. Elder Tucker, you're right. Communicate. Some people talk a lot and ain't saying nothing. James Brown told us that, right? Talking loud and ain't saying nothing. No. Speak and speak effectively. Okay. Learning boundaries. Understanding and recognizing the boundaries of your partner, which may differ from your own. Is one thing to create the boundary, but have you taken it? Okay, you've communicated your boundary very well. That's good. That's a very good start. But have you taken the time to really learn the boundary of your partner? I'm asking you a question. Have you audience, have you taken the time to really learn your partner's boundaries? It ain't just about your boundaries. Do you know your partner's boundaries? This is an open book test now. This ain't a multiple choice. If you had to write a narrative, you know how you write narrative, you get a narrative question on the test. Could you pass that part? Huh? How's this? When we talk about it, you can't say I didn't tell you in love. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And this is good. This is not a blame game. This is about accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be accountable in your relationship. I shouldn't have to. Now you claim you love me, right? You love me. You want the best of me. Why I got to keep telling you time and time again the same boundary? You keep crossing my same boundary, but you want me to believe that you love me and you care for me. You're not taking the time to learn me. And it feels disrespectful, which goes right into our next thing, respecting boundaries. You create them, you learn them. Now, respecting boundaries means acknowledging and honoring the established boundary of both partners to foster mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell Tisha that I respect her, but every time she draw a line in the sand, I keep kicking dirt on it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Call, if you're gonna come home late, at least call me. I pick Tisha up from work every day. Normally she gets off at 4:30. I can't show up at 5 o'clock and haven't called, won't answer my phone. I get there at 5 o'clock. She said, well, what happened? Get in the car. Don't ask me no questions.
Mm-hmm. That won't go well.
You see? Is that respecting the boundary? Come on now. Am I making sense here? You can't expect to have a fruitful relationship when you behave like that. Right? Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
I said something the other day to Tisha. I didn't mean for it to sound like it sounded. But I could tell by her reaction. And then when I saw her action, I was kind of bewildered at first, like, why is she upset? But then I played it back in my head. I was like, oh. And I went back and told her, I said, I think I kind of sounded. She said, oh, you did. You did. And you know what? I realized that I had crossed the boundary. I didn't do it on purpose, but I did. I had to take responsibility for that. Because I knew I had crossed the boundary and that she was upset. The only thing I could do in that moment was apologize and then leave her alone because she needed time to process that. That makes sense to y'all?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to cross it, but I did. How I was trying to communicate what I would say, I was trying to be humorous, but it ain't come out like that. It came out like I was really being, I don't even want to say what it sounds, and it was not taken well. So when you know you crossed the line, don't be prideful. You're wrong, and you know you're wrong. Apologize, try your best to clean it up, and give your partner some time.
Yeah, let me speak to that. When you know that you have done something wrong and you need to apologize, you can't say, I said I apologized, and you just expect for somebody to just be back on it just because you apologize. You have to give somebody some room to get, like he said, to process and get themselves together. Because just because he apologized, oh, I was hot as fish grease. And he knows that. We don't fuss, we don't cuss, we discuss. So because we know, he had to give me some time to get myself together. So it was, it was like, okay, yeah, I realized that he apologized, but for me, it had sent me to another place, but I had to get myself together because I did realize that, yes, he apologized and that was not his intention, so we move from there. But you also have to be considerate and saying just because you didn't intend you can't just say, okay, get past that. You know, you have to allow a person their time to process it. You can't just brush it off and be like, no, because then you cause another problem.
Right.
Because you're saying to the person, whatever your process is, what the heck with your process? No, you can't do that.
That's right. Consideration. That's another C word. The first C word tonight was communication, but the other important C word is consideration. My man Chris said, y'all dropping some bars tonight. Don't fuss, don't cuss, discuss. Amen. And that's an amen with a D on it. Amen. Right? Now, this next thing about boundaries, negotiating boundaries, right? After we create them and we learn them and we respect them, negotiate them. Engage in an open discussion about boundaries, allowing both partners to express their needs and find common ground. She may come up with a boundary. I'm saying, and we've had those discussions. I got one right, and it is one boundary that Tisha has that does not necessarily sit well with me. And we have talked about it several times, right? We don't necessarily see eye to eye. Now, I have done my best to move myself from where I originally was a little closer to where she is. And I can say I have seen her move from where she originally was to a little closer to where I am, to this place called, let's find a little bit of common ground, right? That's great. That's a negotiation. Because at the end of the day, we want peace. I want peace. I want peace with my wife. Now, a good question to ask is, what is the price that I'm paying for peace?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have said this in the past. I have said to her, I said this to my former wife, the price you asking me to pay for peace is too high. So today I declare war. I declare war, and when I declare war, I kill everything. Okay? So don't ask me to pay a price for peace that's too high. Let's find a negotiable peace that works for you and work for me. Listen to what I'm saying here. Don't get so stuck in your way that your partner finds no peace and no solace in your peace. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
You may have to compromise. Tisha had to give up something, and I had to give up something for us to have peace in that particular area, and I'm okay with that. I couldn't have it all my way, and she couldn't have it all her way. I'm okay with that. Because her and I got peace. We share our bed together. And we have determined ain't nobody gonna cause us not to have peace.
I'll be James Brown.
Somebody got to go, and it won't be Carl, and it won't be Tisha. Okay?
Kawasaki motorcycle coming in a Honda.
Now, Lucy got a question here. What if one keeps apologizing for the same thing again and again? Is that apology good or an excuse to keep on doing what's done? This is a good question, and without a whole lot of details and context, I'm gonna try first, then you try.
Okay.
Let me say this. There's two ways of looking at that. Sometimes you can have an adjustment period. If there's something that's so new to me that, man, this is so new, it's taking me a long time to adjust to this. There may be some of this because I keep bumping my head because it's so new. I'm trying to figure it out. Now, the way I would handle it, and this is me. I'm a talker. So I'm going to sit down and tell you, listen, this is a big ask. I'm trying, but I'm going to have to grow into this. I'm going to do the best I can, but it may be a whole bunch of failure before I pass because I want to manage the expectation because I don't think I can do well today, tomorrow, or next month. But I'm going to give you all I got. I just don't know what it's going to look like right now until I can get this thing together. And I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. On the other side, am I really giving you my best? Because what I'm really trying to communicate to you is I want you to know that though it may look bad, I want you to know that I'm really giving you my best. I'm managing expectations because I don't want you to think because I'm striking out, that don't mean I'm not trying to hit the ball. It's not because of lack of effort. I'm just not good enough right now. But I'm doing everything I can. Now, everything I can, that's a measurable thing. Are you really? Are you asking for help? Are you doing the things that one can do to get help so you can get better in this area so you don't have to keep apologizing? I hope that makes sense. We got to do something to get better in an area where we're weak. We can't keep offering up the same failure time and time again and having the expectation that the same failure with the same effort is acceptable. And at the same time, the person who has the expectation of a passing grade, have you set a reasonable expectation? That's the way I see it. Go ahead.
I think it depends upon the situation. If it's something that is small and can be fixed, that's where one would feel like you have the ability to change it, but you choose not to. So you can look at it from that perspective. Whereas boyfriend over here is saying, say for example, I'm trying to think of something that, okay, say for example, you have a boundary and it is a big ask. Because it is a big ask and you're taking the necessary steps and you may not get it right, you know, okay, give me some adjustment time. You're going to start the conversation off by saying, give me some adjustment time. I may not get everything right, but you try to set things in place, like i.e. check in with each other to say, hey, can we come back to this in 2 weeks? You know, I may do this thing that gets on your nerve if you set this boundary or set boundary for somebody else, or whatever the situation or case may be, to say, let's check in with each other. You know, let's do a check-in in 2 weeks, or a check-in in a month, do a check-in at 3 months to see how it is improving. If you have that check-in at 2 weeks, and then at a month, and then at three months, if it is a big ask, and at those particular check-ins, this person is constantly doing things where it's not progressing, then I would say in regards to that, they may be just saying the sorry to just continue to do what it is that they want to do, especially when you try to put things in place to show that they are trying to, you know, try to show that they are taking the necessary steps. Say, for example, if someone is supposed to go to counseling, okay, just using an example, if there was an issue that required to go to counseling, one person say, I ain't going to counseling, I don't have no issue, you got the issue. Okay, so maybe one person said, you know what, duly noted, I'm going to go work on me. the other person that really has the issue, but you say, I can't make nobody do anything. You're right. I'm going to go work on me. So you go and work on you, and this person sees the changes. Because sometimes I say, you know what, be the person to make the change. So you go and work on you, and the person see that you've made some changes. So it may intrigue them because you have found out other avenues where you can go and make some changes within yourself, and you find out other ways and suggestions. And then you can come to them and say, you know, I found out maybe another way we can work this and still make some improvements where the marriage can work. I'm just using this as an example. And maybe the person, because they see some changes within you, they have now become open-minded. It wasn't like you're just poking holes into them, but because you took the effort to do something within yourself, they are now willing to do something. You know, something along those lines. But I think it all depends on what the situation is.
You know, I love that. Chris Tucker said this here, personal opinion. An apology will either come with or submit to accountability in that area. I love this, and I think I understand exactly what he's saying. He's saying a genuine apology is either going to come with some accountability or submit to accountability.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
If you're apologizing but can't submit to accountability or come with some accountability, I don't know if that apology is genuine.
Right.
A real apology is a broken-hearted person, a person with a contrite heart. I really didn't mean for this negative thing to happen. I did not mean to upset Tisha the other day, but I realized that I did. So you know what I did do? I got quiet. I ain't say nothing else. I ain't had nothing to say. And when I realized that she had calmed down, I went to check on her. You need anything? You know what I mean? And she knew what I was doing. And when I saw that she was receptive, she didn't have to say anything. I knew she was letting me off the hook a little bit. Because at the end of the day, I know Tisha knows me. She know I screwed up. But Tisha know my heart. She know that's not what I was trying to do. But it was like, but bro, well, why you say that though? But yeah, but that wasn't what I was trying to do though. I know the way it came out, but that wasn't the intention. Okay. You know how a comedian just, you had a joke that just bombed. Yeah, my joke just bombed. Okay.
That thing said, wah, wah, wah.
The intention that we were supposed to bust out laughing.
But you know what? I can speak to the same thing. I remember one time we were doing something and he was deep in his thought. And, you know, sometimes we banter back and forth with each other. We verbally joust. And because he was in his head doing something else, I thought we were verbally jousting. And he gave me one of these. And I was like, oh, that went horribly wrong. And so because he was like, what are you talking about? So I had to come to him and say, you know what? Based on your response, I thought we were verbally jousting. It went somewhere else that it wasn't supposed to go. But when you see that it goes wrong like that, you have to take accountability. That was not my intention. Although it did, you have to take accountability for that. You can't let it go and wander off somewhere, because next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, wait a minute. We too big and too grown for that.
Yeah.
You know, take accountability for the part that you play in the situation.
Your relationship can handle a little heat, but just be grown about it. You know, I made a mistake. She wasn't gonna be mad forever. And I wasn't angry with her forever. I was hot for a minute. But let me tell y'all something. And if you follow me, you've heard me say this before. Every time I get myself ready to go tell Tisha something, I'm finna tell her. I have a process. I don't never go to tell Tisha something without making sure that I pass a mirror. Fellas, all women too, make sure you got to go past a mirror before you go tell your partner something. Don't just walk past the mirror. Stop in the mirror.
Look for a second. Pause.
Look at the person in the mirror. That's you. Ask that person in the mirror, how much of my mess is my partner putting up with me that they're giving me grace with? They're giving me grace
and mercy.
And then after you can honestly admit, oh yeah. Now, after you can admit that they're giving you grace and mercy on that bull job that you own, now you go talk to them. Now, most time after I deal with that, I don't even go mess with them. God, I thank you for Tisha because she's awesome. You know I'm on that medication.
And me too.
She got her hands full. God, I thank you.
Woo.
Hallelujah. And I go on about my business. And when I do make it to it, it's more like, sweetheart, have you considered, am I lying?
Oh.
But if I don't stop by that mirror, I'm subject to make a mess. I'm serious now. Consideration, boundaries, love language. One thing I know about Tisha don't like to be talked too rough. She don't like that.
Yeah, because my mouth is slicker than a can of paint, slide down the slippery slope, and I have a tendency to go straight for the jugular. That is my kryptonite. I got a shirt that say, pray for me because I am petty. Petty LaBelle, Petty Crocker. That's me. I will admit. Mm-hmm.
I ain't messing with it.
My kids call me that.
I'm just saying.
I will admit that.
That's one of her boundaries. She does not like to be.
Don't talk to me nice.
Right. And listen, and I don't have a problem with that because I don't like for nobody to talk to me crazy either. I'm not saying I can't take it. I'm not saying that. I'm not a person who falls apart if you raise your voice at me. But I'm saying if you talk that way to me, you got to be ready to take something back too now.
And we also have this saying that fair is fair. You know, we laugh and joke, but we genuinely believe that because if we start dealing with each other that way, then we open the floodgates for it to get out of bounds. So we deal with each other with respect, decency, and in order at all times. So we keep ourselves wrangled in, because when we get to the point where we say, you know what, we go to our respective corners and we always come back and we always deal with each other with respect and with love. So we know that it's never going to get out of pocket because we love each other so much. But because of our previous situations, we know that it can go horribly wrong very quick and we can mess up our good thing. So we respect each other enough to go to our respective corners. Like I said, we don't fuss, we don't cuss, we discuss.
And so now we got to ask, so what's the interplay between the love languages and the boundaries? Here it is. Listen to this. The interplay between love languages and boundaries is significant. Honoring a partner's boundaries can enhance the effectiveness of expressing love through their preferred love language. For instance, if a partner values quality time but feels overwhelmed by constant demands, respecting their need for personal space can create a more conducive environment for meaningful interactions. In other words, hey, listen, I want some quality time with you, but you keep making demands on me, man. Hold up, I got 5 meetings in a 3-hour period. You can't come to me within a 3-hour period demanding some quality time. Hold up, man. Give us some space, and after I take care of this, now we can do it. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to respect your need for quality time, but you got to respect my boundary of here. This is how I make my money now. So you can't get it during this period. Are we understanding each other?
Right.
It's got to be some maturity and some mutual respect and consideration in this thing too. Now listen to this, the connection between the love language and the boundaries. The relationship between love language and boundaries can be summarized as follows. Mutual understanding. Knowing each other's love languages can lead to a deeper understanding of personal boundaries. For example, if one partner's love language is physical touch, but they have a boundary regarding public displays of affection, it is crucial for the other partner to respect that boundary while still expressing love in private. I got a thing. I told Tisha this. Don't put your mark on me. If you ain't licking my ear in the house, don't be licking my ear in public. You know what I mean? I don't need you to put your mark on me. I don't need for you to get out in public and let every other woman know that I'm your man. I know I'm your man, and you know I'm your man. Don't get out in public and don't do nothing that we don't do in private. And some stuff we do in private do not need to be done in public. You understand? I'm cool with public displays of affection, but let's be decent. Hey, we don't need to be tongue kissing in public. Okay, they ain't, come on, man. We ain't be doing all that. We ain't gonna be filling each other up in public. That's just I got some boundaries about decency. I ain't talking about what other couples do. That's them. All right. They do what they do. I'm talking about what's acceptable for my wife and I. And I love physical touch, right? But you know, she's not gonna be giving me a glute massage in the mall.
No, sir.
Now I want one tonight when we get off this thing, but that's gonna be in the privacy of our boudoir. You know what I mean? Am I making sense, y'all? I know I'm making it a little funny, but I'm making sense, right? So you see, you got there's an interconnection between the boundaries and the love languages. They go together. And when you find that place with your love languages and your boundaries, it makes your relationship sweeter and better. I'm trying to tell you, it does. Hey, Sarisa, I hear you. Sarisa, how often do y'all do this? I love it. We do this once a month, every first Monday. Now listen to this. Enhanced communications. Open discussions about love languages can facilitate conversations about boundaries. When partners understand how to express love effectively, they can also communicate their limits more clearly. They bounce off of each other. Mm-hmm. This kind of good communication opens trust. Let me tell y'all something too. Now, this ain't in these notes, but I'm gonna tell you what I know. When you got this type of openness, it also makes it better for intimacy.
Yes.
And good intimacy makes it better for everything. And intimacy is not just intercourse. Intimacy is when you snugged up together at night. Mm-hmm. I don't sleep too good when I'm not snugged up against Tisha.
Neither.
I whispered something to her last night. I can't tell y'all, but it's something happened when she's close to me. You understand what I mean? Huh? I need her close to me. I can say things to Tisha that I can't say to nobody else. She can say things to me that she can't say to nobody else. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Tisha not gonna tell my secrets. She ain't gonna tell y'all. That gives me a freedom to be able to get some stuff off of my chest. Her keeping my secrets is her staying within the boundaries. That's part of my love language too. Baby, I got to be able to tell you things I can't tell nobody else. Mm-hmm. Some of this, the parishioners don't need to hear or see. Mm-hmm. This part of me, you the only person on earth that can see it and hear it. Tisha ain't telling my secrets, and I ain't telling hers. Make sense? So, open discussions about love languages can facilitate conversations about boundaries. When partners understand how to express love effectively, they can also communicate their limits more clearly, building trust. Respecting boundaries while speaking love languages foster trust and security in their relationships. When partners feel safe to express their needs, it strengthens the emotional bond. Ooh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Feeling safe. And women, please know, men need to feel safe too. Now, I know women have the more outward need for emotional safety and physical safety. Men don't need physical safety as much, but we do need emotional safety. In my first marriage, I did not have emotional safety. I didn't have it. I got it with Tisha. And because I have that emotional safety, I'm able to grow. I'm not in survival mode emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in thriving mode emotionally. Does that make sense? In my first marriage, I couldn't get out of survival mode emotionally. So I was hindered. Because I have such a trust with Tisha, I'm in thriving mode emotionally. I just lost my mother this year. I've been all over the place emotionally. Tisha can handle all of it. She can handle my tears. She can handle my days when I ain't had enough medication. Somebody know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, don't even worry about it. But if you know, you know. Okay?
You got to be able to balance each other's out. Because when I lost my dad, he was able to deal with me and all my shenanigans when I was all over the place. So you need to be able to have somebody that can love you and all of the facets of you. Your
right.
Good, your bad, your ugly, your in between, and when you don't even know what to do.
That's right. Sarisa, I'm going to get to your question here in just a minute. Let me wrap this part up. I'm coming right back to you. In this conclusion to my notes. In conclusion, integrating the understanding of love languages with the establishment and respect of boundaries can significantly enhance relationship dynamics. By prioritizing both aspects, partners can create a nurturing environment that fosters love, respect, and mutual satisfaction. Mutual satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Mutual satisfaction. I'm not good until Tisha's good. Tisha's not good until Carl's good. Okay? A big part of my satisfaction is her satisfaction. When I knew she was hot with me, I wasn't all the way together. I knew I messed up, even though I didn't mean to, but I knew I messed up, and I knew I had to give her some time. I knew that she heard me apologize. I knew that she knew I meant it, but I had to give her some time to come off the mountaintop because she was on the mountaintop. And she had steam coming out of it.
I think I was at Mount Everest.
Hunger said, I'll be back. I said, oh, Lord, she got to take a ride. She mad for real. But, it's all good because our relationship can handle that, right? I didn't feel moved at all. I didn't feel, oh, Lord, what's she going to? No. She needed to get out and blow off some steam. And I went, who's she going to call? Call whoever you need to call.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, man, call whoever you need to call. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm human, right? I can make mistakes too. But listen, these boundaries and these love languages, they work together. And I hope we were able to bring that out. Now, y'all all together, we're going to help Sarisa tell us. She says, how can I help my husband with my love language during perimenopause? Help me and my husband listen. His name is Alan. All right, bro, Alan and sister Sarisa. Now, let me tell you, I don't know a whole lot about perimenopause. I know a little bit. Now, Tisha can help me out here being a woman. Let me just give you my perspective from being a man. First of all, when my first wife started going through, I knew she was going through menopause before she did. I went and got my hands on everything that I could read because I really wanted to understand it. I knew that my understanding of it was going to be a cursory understanding because my body and my mind are not going through it. So the best that I could do was get some information so at least I could empathize, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there were a couple of counseling sessions that we had. And so I spoke on it, and then I listened, and then I tried the best I could do when she was going through, some of the physical and the emotional changes that you go through. I tried my best to empathize and not take it so personal when she was lashing out, because there was some lashing out. And I tried not to take it so personal. At the same time, I was asking her, listen, you're going through it. Can I not be the worst person in the world? Can you not turn the house upside down because you're going through? I know that you can't help the way you feel, but all of us are responsible for the way that we behave.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I give you an excuse to act a fool, then you got to give me an excuse to act a fool. And can't nobody act a fool the way I can. Okay. I got 3 PhDs in acting of food. I'm real good at it. I'm real creative. I'm just trying to tell you now. I'm good at it, man. So let's give each other some grace. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm so for real. So I would say, Alan, it's going to take something extra for you to be very patient with Sarisa. And I hope I'm saying it right. To be patient with her, for as good as you can to understand her body is going through something that she cannot control. And it is going to cause her to have some emotional responses that she don't want to have, but she's going to have them. Mm-hmm. Sarisa, as best as you can, look that man in the face and just be honest with him. Boo, I'm going through. I'm going through it. Tell him what you're feeling. Tell him why. I have heard menopausal women say sometimes they want to kill their husband. I mean, murder for real. I don't suggest you tell him that. I mean, maybe he can handle it. But when you feeling bad, you got to tell him. Oh, she said that part. Okay, so maybe you're there. But you got to express to him, because if you don't, he trying to understand why you behaving like this. None of this makes sense. You got to help him as best you can to make it make sense. Remember, men are rational. To us, 1 and 1 is always 2. You can never convince a man that 1 and 1 is 3. We think rationally.
Mm-hmm. We women, we could say it's square root of 3 cubed times pi. And
we're gonna look at you say it's 1 to say 1 and 1 is 2, baby. So your relationship is changing because you're at an age, we ain't 25 no more. Our bodies are going through changes, but we got to maintain a level of communication and consideration so we can get through the changes.
Just another suggestion. Also, if you have any doctor's appointments, maybe take him with you to your doctor's appointment. So when the doctor explains certain things and changes that you and your body are going through, that he hear it from the medical term standpoint, because sometimes you don't even know what it is that you're going through. So if he hear it from the medical standpoint, from the doctor, that he can hear it, so he's not thinking that you just out there on the limb just lashing out. He can understand it. Alan can understand it from the doctor saying, okay, this is what your body is going through at this point. Maybe you're going to experience this, you're going to experience that. He may see it before you see it, because my boyfriend over here, he can say, oh, you're having a hot flash. I'm like, how'd you know? I can see your sweat mustache. That's the laughing joke, because sometimes it feels like a fiery furnace. I feel like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I think I might have been the extra person in the furnace with him.
And sometimes I can tell when her demeanor is changing, her tone changes. And I'm not trying to be funny. Sometimes Tisha can see things about me that I don't see. And sometimes I can see things about her that she don't see. And sometimes I can handle it with humor and she'll respond. When I handle it with humor and she don't give me a certain response, I got to take a real different route. She don't think it's funny. So let me take a real kind, soft approach. If she don't feel like joking, and you got to let me just make you comfortable. She can have a bad day with me. That's my baby. It's all good. But Alan, let me tell you something. YouTube is a powerful tool. There's all kind of information available. You got more information available to you now than I had available to me years ago when I was first going through it. My first wife was 8 years older than me, so she was going through some stuff that I hadn't quite got there yet. So, man, I didn't have this kind of information available. YouTube is your friend. If you need counseling, Sarisa, don't be afraid to go get you some counseling and take your husband with you, because he needs to be in these type of things. You need to grow together. You need to learn together. You need to grow together.
Yeah, be in lockstep.
Because you guys can conquer it together. At the end of the day, y'all love each other. And ain't no way in the world you can let this I've heard so many women who divorced their husbands during menopause because it just got ugly for them. And then they got over it and look back and like, oh my God.
It was menopause.
It was menopause. He didn't do anything to me. And now I treated him so bad. He done that joker hate my guts. He done moved on, got remarried, and it was the menopause. It wasn't him. My brain was fried. It was the menopause.
Yeah, I know someone that she was going through menopause and she had to get on medication because her menopause was so strong, and she was telling her doctor, like, I love my husband with every fiber of my being, but I want to take him out. And she actually worked in law enforcement, which was kind of the scary thing, and working in law enforcement, it can be, you see a lot, and so she had to get on medication to kind of help with things because, she was describing it to her doctor, how strongly she felt, with those urges, and they put her on medication. Now, what medication they put her on, I don't know that part, but I know they did put her on some type of medication to help her with her feelings per se.
Amen. I hope this was helpful. Tisha and I really did enjoy this particular. I knew we was going to enjoy this one. We try to do this every first Monday. Is this love thing, and really is up to the audience. If we need to do this more frequently, we can. If we need to back it down, we can. We do this as an offering through our ministry because we know that some ministries just don't do it, and we're not banging on no other church. But man, sometimes we just need to take the doggone preacher hat off and just have some real conversation about what's going on in these relationships.
Life really be lifing.
I mean, for real. So every first Monday, we do this love thing. Every first Monday at 8:00, we do different subjects. And listen, if y'all got a hot subject that you need to talk about, holler at us. My husband, I want your number. Oh, no problem. I'll tell you what you do. No problem. Hit me up in Facebook Messenger personally, Carl Armstrong. That way we keep between us, all right? Hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we'll do it like that, okay? No problem. No, it's all good. Believe me, you ain't gonna tell me nothing we ain't heard. But if y'all have a subject, and if you want to submit the subject anonymously, because some people you wonder about in your business, and we ain't gonna tell your business. If you share something with us, the only way folks gonna know is if you tell them, because we ain't gonna tell them. But believe it or not, the subject that we handled tonight was actually given to me by somebody several months ago, and I'm not sure if they're in the audience tonight or not. But I solicited, so I said, hey, give me some subjects, and I looked through it, and I said, oh, okay, we're gonna handle this. So we want to make sure that what we're doing is effective for you. We do this for you, all right? So the feedback that you give us is very helpful. We want to make sure that we're helpful to you. And this ain't about membership. Doesn't matter what church you're a part of. That does not matter. We want you to be able to come here, get what you need, go on back to your church. It's all good. Mm-hmm. Just come get what you need, and it's all good, all right? We are Carl and Tisha Armstrong, co-founders of Transition Place.
Yes.
All right. If you don't have a church home, listen, welcome. Come on along. Yes, it's all
love
good.
To have you.
If you do have a church home, go back home. We
ain't in the business of taking folks.
We don't do that. All right.
Look, as y'all can see, we love to have fun. We sit down and in this session here in this love thing, we talking Uncle James, not King James.
There you go. All right, we'll be back on Friday night with our regular Friday night teaching. We'll be in lesson number 7. All right. Until then, may God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. For the next episode of this love thing, we'll see you first Monday night in January. Bye-bye for now. God bless you.
Take care. Be blessed.